All right, well, thank you for joining our info session today on why do a global MBA in France. So, a bit about the agenda today. We will start with each of us introducing ourselves. I will then discuss or share with you why we should do an MBA in France. And then we'll go into the program highlights, followed by an alumni success story. And then our admissions team will tell you how to apply. And then we will get into our favorite part of the info session, the Q&A and discussion. So quickly introducing ourselves, I'm Jenny Hinderscheid, the head of marketing for the MBA and DBA.
So I'm Chandra Delpont. I'm the MBA director, full-time and part-time programs here at Grenoble École de Management.
Hello, I'm Malhar Mohite and MBA graduate of 2021. I currently work as an international business developer in 40 Views, which is in Grenoble.
And thank you. And our admissions team.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. My name is Simon Ferres, and I'm a part of the admissions team here, and we'll talk to you more about admissions details at the end.
And I'm Virginia Harvey, dealing with the admissions as well.
Right, thank you, everybody. So let's discuss why should you do a global MBA in France? Well, France is a top choice for international MBA students. It offers globally recognized education, rich cultural experiences, affordability, and excellent career prospects. The Grenoble École de Management, GEM, MBA, stands out as a world-class program combining academic excellence with hands-on learning in the heart of Europe. The MBA continues to be a gold standard in business education, so widely recognized and respected by employers around the world. And despite changes in the education market and increased interest in specialized masters and other credentials, the MBA remains a highly valued qualification for business professionals globally. French MBA programs, including GEM, are consistently ranked by QS, Financial Times, and Forbes. So GEM's MBA is ranked 8th in France and recognized globally for career progression and international mobility. France is also home to 19 triple-crowned schools, placing them in the top 1% globally for quality. And that includes the GEM Grenoble École de Management as well. We have 40 plus years of experience in leadership and business education. And today we want to focus on our full-time MBA, which is a 10-month format, with intensive hands-on learning from September to June, followed by a final paper and professional experience from 3 to 6 months. And we will also be launching shortly and announcing our new part-time and tech MBA, are based in Grenoble. France offers a unique blend of history, art, fashion, and cuisine. So living in France while studying enhances your personal and professional growth. GEM is located at the foot of the Alps, offering a mix of outdoor activities such as skiing and cycling and cultural excursions. It is also voted the European Green Capital in 2022 and is known for sustainability, walkability, and clean living. We're especially proud of the taste of our drinking water. There's also language advantage. There's an opportunity to learn or improve your French with support through language courses. And Grenoble is the second most English-speaking city in France after Paris. It really is a welcoming destination for international students. There is a relative ease of entry. So France's visa process is streamlined for international students, and tuition rates are the same for domestic and international students. So if you apply early enough, you should have no problem coming to study in France. The cost of living is lower compared to other destinations like the US or the UK. Grenoble offers affordable housing, public transportation, and government assistance for some students. There's also support at GEM. We have a dedicated international student services for visa support and housing guidance. It is a vibrant international student body. We have 65,000 students all over, not just from Grenoble École de Management, from the other campuses as well in Grenoble, and from 180 nationalities. So it's very much an international student city. France is a strategic location, so its position in Europe provides access to EU job market and mobility across European countries. So GEM is located in one of Europe's top innovation systems with close ties to the giant campus, fostering engagement with research and startups. We're very much centered on hands-on learning. GEM emphasizes experiential learning through live business cases, internships, and projects with global companies. So our access to GEM's 47,000 strong alumni network, including 2,200 MBA graduates, so really does support the career advancement in these diverse industries. There is definitely a high ROI. Graduates benefit from enhanced career prospects and leadership opportunities across tech, luxury, finance, and innovation sectors. There really is also a competitive tuition. So French MBA programs cost between 20 to 40,000 compared to 60 to 120 in the US. And GEM's MBA is priced at 36,000 with generous scholarships. There definitely is a value for money, globally recognized education, high rankings, and career outcomes at the fraction of the cost of a US school. For our US students, we also are eligible for FAFSA and loans like Sallie Mae. You also gain a real international experience when you come to France. You don't just enjoy France, you enjoy very much an international environment, and you gain a global perspective while following our program. GEM boasts of international faculty, so over 50% come from abroad, and a diverse student cohort. Students gain a multicultural education and global networking opportunities. They enjoy an international study trip, so that includes a week-long trip, which is included in your tuition fees and included in the program. And this year's destination was to Berlin. So it offers practical insights into the global business environment. So choosing an MBA in France, and particularly at GEM, offers a globally recognized, culturally enriching, and career transforming experience. And GEM's 10-month intensive MBA combines world-class academics, hands-on learning, affordability in a supportive international environment. So why don't you join us and position yourself for leadership success in the global business landscape? So thank you. And with that, I will pass the reins to my colleague, Chandra Delpont.
So obviously, Ginny talked a lot about why it's great to stay here in France. Absolutely, we do have some of the most amazing water. That was one thing you were talking about, Ginny, actually.
Delicious.
No, it is. I mean, clean drinking water is kind of an understatement. We actually have the best water in France. It's even better than Avion. Obviously, we are surrounded by beautiful mountains on a pretty much 360. I think that's why, Mahala, you're actually here and still here. Absolutely. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's beautiful, and it's the most interesting combination of tech and a beautiful ecosystem, sustainability, kind of all coming together in this beautiful trifecta. So the program that we've built makes sure to incorporate those aspects. Which is why I think we've also built a top-ranked program. We've had 20 years of an MBA program, as well as almost 20 years of programs around the world. So we have an amazing network of alumni situated all around the world. Our program is definitely incredibly mixed and multicultural with a 95% international cohort, shall we say. It's definitely an experiential program. We do a lot of, for example, serious games. We do study cases. We do an incredible live business case with a local international company now. We do these corporate expeditions, like Ginny mentioned, where we visit local companies, For example, Minetech, which is the CEA Innovation Center, or ST, Microelectronics, or Rossignol, which is a ski company, or Poma, etc., etc. We've visited 3-star Michelin restaurants and 5-star hotels, and food distribution and operational distribution centers around here. So it's really an interesting hub of business, both in tech and industry, including sports, shall we say. And I think it's really the kind of experience that you want to get hands-on, because it is very much an international center here in Grenoble. It's the second Anglophone city in France, and I think that makes it interesting and easy to mix with different cultures in one place that's so globally and centrally located here in the middle of Europe, actually. So this is the program. We have basically 4 main focuses. One is going to be about leadership, of course. So we're going to talk about leading change. So we have basic leadership, and also, of course, working with teams and understanding how to empower managers and create collaborative teams. So this is all about the intercultural aspect, and this is actually the class that we usually use to kick off the program, because the most important thing moving forward is that you're going to be working together with an extremely diverse group. We have a group of just around 20-something students this year, and within that we have over 13 different nationalities. So it's incredibly diverse, which also represents the type of international professors that come through. And so understanding how to work together and breaking down those barriers from the beginning is absolutely the first step that we want to take. Again, we're focused around management of technology and innovation, because this is really a tech hub, Silicon Valley of France. So we're looking at digital transformation through value creation through transformative technologies. We're looking at creativity, innovation, and of course, global and digital marketing. We have the fundamentals, of course, finance and operations. I won't get into those too much. They're somewhat standard. And we're also going to be looking at strategy. So here we want to integrate sustainability within our strategy as a fundamental. It needs to be an aspect that's taken into consideration from the beginning when you're developing your strategy. So we have that in our 45-hour class of Transforming Sustainable Business Strategy. We have the basics, like I say, economics, of course, risk, which is including global risk, geopolitical risk, and also how to manage crisis. We have fundamentals like negotiation, but we've integrated into how to develop new partnerships and how to work together in a collaborative fashion, which mirrors our economic peace chair, research chair, talking about how to build stronger partnerships while taking into consideration how to, let's say, expand the pie rather than cutting it into 14 different pieces. And of course, like I say, at the end, you're going to have your life business case, and you're going to start with your consulting class, which teaches you the tools that you're going to need in a consulting project, and you're going to put that into place with your live business case. And let's continue to our specializations. We have our luxury, which is basically marketing in the idea of customer centrality, as well as brand development and understanding the adaptation of the market with digital and sustainable taken into consideration, because we are looking at the sector of the application, which is luxury. We have entrepreneurship. So obviously you're going to be working on business models and financing your project, as well as leadership in any kind of startup, either if it's internal or external. And our new specialization launching this year is our business analytics class. We're looking at data streams, we're looking at AI, we're looking at value creation from data, basically, and then also how to manage that in in a sustainable and ethical way. Of course, we have our international trips that we've mentioned. This year, we are going to Berlin. We go to Berlin basically during our value creation through transformative technologies, which is basically digital transformation class. And here we spend 1 full week, which, like Janine mentioned, is included in the program tuition fee. So we stay at a nice hotel in Berlin. We have classes there, and we visit companies. So last year we visited SAP, we visited Accenture digital transformation. We spoke to Bosch digital transformation. We spoke to AXA digital transformation. We went to Deutsche Bahn, which is the train company, and looked at innovation and how they're using digital and data in the development and the improvement of their systems. And we also looked at 3D, which was interesting, 3D printing. So a little bit about different new technologies. We also have some of our specializations based out of our Paris campus. So that one is usually our luxury, which does make sense, our luxury specialization. And we have a group coming from Tbilisi, Georgia, so in the east of Europe. This is also the finance hub of Eastern Europe. So our finance specialization could go to a place like this for one of the 3 weeks. So these are 3 full weeks that we spend in our specializations. So either they're in Grenoble, in Paris, or in Tbilisi, but it could be another site depending on where it makes sense, to be honest. And now we get to talk to our little star for the day. Thank you very much, Miller, for joining us. Thank you so much for always being engaged.
Yes, I mean,
Great.
Gem has certainly given me so much that I always wanted to give back and want to give back. So yeah, well, please do ask questions so that I can answer, or I can just start why I chose Gem in the first place. Well, the first reason, of course, are the mountains, because as you have already mentioned, we are in the middle of 3 or 4, I think it's 4 mountain ranges, and it's in the valley, and that gives me personally access to a lot of mountain sports. I do paragliding, I do skiing and trail running. So that has really been my number one reason why I chose GEM. The second one was innovation. I knew about Grenoble as the innovation hub of Europe, and how, like, the brands that I know, the companies that I know were born in Grenoble. So I was very attracted to that part. And the third was the specializations and the core structure of GEM. And of course, the ranking. I was almost going to the US. I was ready. I packed my bags. I came across one video of Grenoble, and I was like, let's go there. And yes, ever since, I think I've been living in Grenoble for the past 5 years and been happy. Gem, I believe, has taken me through the entire journey during MBA, after MBA, during my internship, and even after MBA. So that was quite good on a school's part. I wasn't expecting, and I think we were the first batch who experienced COVID. And as a result, we lost about 2 months of classroom program. But to compensate for that, we were given an offer to do a second specialization, which was again a great thing, which kept the pedagogy. We came back to school, we met with the teachers, and it was just after COVID, so people were returning back and having that human connection. So thank you, and that's why I'm here, just kind of being crazy about why GEM is good. So yeah, that's a short story. And still, right now as well, I come to GEM. It gives an opportunity to network with alumni, network with companies. There are a lot of mixers. There are a lot of social life. How do I say it? With the students, with the new students, even with the faculty, the other visiting faculty, visiting students, and everyone else. So that's been a great platform, which helps me right now as well. So yeah, I'm quite happy.
And you're active, and I love that. I love that you come to all of our mixers. I'm like, there's Miller,
Yes,
great. So yeah, I mean, it's true. I think it's a great opportunity, and the fact that we have kind of these small and intimate cohorts is actually really important, because you build these really close, strong connections, not only between the teachers and you, between each other, but then also with the next years that kind of come in, and they're happy to mix with the new cohort. And I really make sure that the incoming gets to meet the second year and the alumni. So anyone in the area and we
Yeah.
do a mixture, in different
Yeah.
spots.
The main thing about MBA is that we are not, I mean, I'm calling them students, but they are mostly who people who have experience. And some of them are just taking a sabbatical, or some of them are really good positions, but they're doing the course. And that's a good way to network with those people, because it kind of, you never know who might just come for your help, or if you if you want to change your jobs, or maybe gain a prospective client. I remember talking to Bradley from ActiveLoop.
Yeah.
So he did design glasses with the
Micro
augmented,
LED. Yeah,
micro LED.
absolutely. Micro LED,
So,
absolutely.
and people are now, so my fellow friends from my paragliding group, they started using those, and I'm like, I know this guy. Yeah. So I was like, whoa. So I connected with Bradley, and we are discussing like what can we do, and etc.
Great.
So
And
it's
that's
it's
what it's
been
about.
fun.
Yeah.
And Malhar, I have to also give you a shout out because you were recently featured in Business Because magazine about
Yeah.
your experience at GEM. And you're
Yes.
also singled out because also you used your MBA and your experience to move into these new frontiers in AI, which is really
Yes.
quite cool.
Yeah.
Would you like to share a little bit more about that with us, about your career progression?
So yes, so basically, I am an engineer, and while I was working as a project engineer, but after about 2 years in the whole thing, I realized that I was really good commercially to selling things. So I was doing a little bit of business development, but then I decided that I want to upgrade. So that was the point when I came to GEM. And at that point, one of the specialization was in international business development. And from there, it kind of accelerated. I did an internship with 40 Views, and I started working with them as an international business developer. And then from there, I've been traveling across the world, attending exhibitions, visiting client, and we are into this world of virtual reality and augmented reality, where we make human holograms, which is and it is born in Grenoble. The technology is born in Grenoble and kind of used worldwide, all the way from Hollywood to Japanese anime. So it's been quite, it gave me the exposure that I wanted, and that was what I was looking for. And in this ever-changing world of technology, when you are in the innovation hub itself, well, the sky is the limit.
It's very cool. Thank you. So maybe we'll get back to you with questions in just a
Yep.
second, and then we will let our admissions team quickly cover how people can join this amazing program. So how to apply.
Hi, everybody. I will walk you through our admissions process here at Grenoble École de Management for the MBA program. Again, we're always very available if ever you have any questions, so we'll get to that at the end. First of all, it's a master's program, and in that respect, we require that every applicant already hold their bachelor degree. It doesn't need to be necessarily a 4-year bachelor degree. 3-year bachelor degrees, which exist in certain countries, are also very, very valid. We're looking for a 60% GPA. This can really vary from country to country, so feel free to send us your application. We try to make sure that we convert those grades as honestly as possibly. The general rule is that we're looking for candidates who have good grades. If ever you have a doubt, again, you can reach out to us and ask. It doesn't need to be a bachelor degree in business, by all means. In fact, we really welcome people from very eclectic backgrounds. That's the whole strength of the MBA program. So you can come from any background, as long as you have significant professional experience. You do need to justify that you've been employed for at least, if I'm not mistaken, 3 years, and more, of course, is always a plus.
Yes, post-grad, of course.
Of course, 3 years of experience after having graduated from your bachelor's degree. We don't count We don't count summer jobs and internships, for instance. So moving forward, we will require that you write us a short motivation essay that happens directly in our online platform. It's not too long, between 400 and 600 words. The whole point is to try and be succinct, straight to the point. We highly encourage you to not use ChatGPT or any other AI formulating tools because it's very easy to spot. You'll have to give us, of course, an updated resume or CV. We require one professional reference. Now, you don't need a letter per se. All we ask is that you give us the contact details of your referee, and we will send them a quick online form. It saves time for everybody. And you'll have to send us your passport just so that we're sure about who you are and your eligibility to come and study here in France. Now, if you're not a native English speaker, we will ask that you provide us with proof of language ability, because the program, of course, is delivered entirely in English. If your degree was delivered entirely in English, we can also waive this requirement if you provide us proof that your degree was indeed fully taught in English. But coming back to the test, if you need to provide one, we accept the following: TOEFL, IBT, IELTS, Duolingo, and Cambridge. So only Cambridge Proficiency, Cambridge Advanced, or Cambridge Business Higher. As you can see, the scores reflected here represent roughly a B2 level. In any event, the idea is that we don't want you to struggle during the program, so we encourage you to be comfortable in English if you do want to apply. Furthermore, in parallel to the application process, you can apply to one of our internal scholarships. We try to base our scholarships based on the excellence of your profile, but also based on financial need if necessary. We take into account as many factors as possible, and you can apply to our scholarships. And to do so, we simply ask that you write us short essays. Again, this all happens in the application platform. And then we give you an offer when acceptances are or admissions results are published. As you can see on this slide here, we have a list of our scholarships that you can look for. And also, I highly recommend using our other tool called the GEM Financial Advisor, which is a custom tool which basically you put in a bunch of details regarding your situation and which program you're applying to, etc. And depending on where you're from, what age you are, it can suggest different types of funding opportunity. May they be scholarships or loan opportunities, for instance. So very, very useful tool. It exists in French and in English on the webpage, so feel free to hop to the English version if you need it. And it's very good guidance if you're looking for additional funding. And I believe that is all. Now, obviously, you can apply through our website. Go onto the MBA program and click Apply here, and it'll direct you directly to our online application platform. You'll have to create a free account, but then you will have to complete the application form and pay a 98 euro application fee. And then we try to get back to you within 2 to 3 weeks. Generally speaking, before we give you final admissions results, there will necessarily have to be a quick discussion with your trustee program director present here, Chandra. So just not necessarily as an admissions interview, but more as a way to get to know you before we let you onto the program, to understand your profile a little bit better. This happens in parallel to our admissions process, but is a very vital part of what we do here in making sure that we have a strong cohort that join the program. So again, feel free to apply. As you can see, there's also an email address at the bottom of this slide called admissions@grenoble-em.com. If you have any admissions questions or worries, feel free to send them our way, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. And if not, direct you to the person who should be able to help you out. May they be Chandra directly if it's more of an academic related question, or our financial team if ever it's more relative to funding opportunities. Thank you. Oh, Oh, I would have been remiss, you're right, not to mention our international recruitment officers. So this is our team abroad, and they work closely with us in guiding you through the application process. And this is a vital part of what we how we work here. Um, this is entirely free of charge for you. We recommend that you contact the representative of your region, and they will make sure that you are submitting the best application possible. They also understand the situations of your region best. They can probably help you as well if you have any interrogations around the whole visa request procedures for coming to France, vital insights regarding funding opportunities for your region in specifically. And of course, a lot of them have been with the school for many years now and have very extensive networks of alumni, that they can put you in touch with locally, in fact, which is an excellent way as well for you to get a better idea and a better feel for the program. So again, these partners, they are our eyes on the field. They are our best allies in helping you guys make sure that you deliver the best application possible and join us in the end.
Absolutely. Thank you. And so where you can find out more, just of course, straight on our MBA page, you'll find all the information you need, including our contact information and links to the contact information of these international officers as well. And we all work very closely together. We all have quite a number of years of experience in Grenoble and working at GEM. And so you're welcome to contact any of us, and we'll either hopefully try to help you or put you in touch with the right person who can. And with that, I'm going to stop my slides and open this up to discussion. And we'll just take a couple minutes since right before the end of our webinar to either answer questions or maybe kind of discuss a little bit more in detail about some of these features of the MBA and what it's like to study in Grenoble and in France.
Yeah, no, I think the one thing that I've seen as far as question goes, the experience when you are in the classroom, it is quite hands-on. I think there's a lot of interaction, a lot of time it's not about lectures like just sending information. It is actually a lot about presenting theory and then actually getting to play with it. This is why also we've integrated, for example, serious games. If anyone follows me on LinkedIn, I've shared some of the student videos that they've just done recently. We were working with a game that was actually built and born in Grenoble at GEM called Créanov. So it's all about looking at a product and deconstructing it and then looking at how to maybe change it, how to modify it. So you kind of have all of the different ways to change a product or to reinvent and innovate. What do you stop doing? What do you put together? What do you, et cetera, et cetera. And it's actually a board game. So you see it on some of the videos that were done by the students. And we did that game in the design thinking lab called the Technology Innovation Management Lab, which is all about design thinking and the design thinking process. So, I mean, these are the kind of experiences that you have. You can see this was really something that was initiated by the students just to make a video. So it wasn't something we're pushing for marketing. It's just the fact that people are just enjoying the experience. And, I promise we don't pay them to smile. And they really do have an amazing time. And this is what makes this experience so memorable. I mean, it's incredibly intense. I know I did it. Malar, you did it as well. And it's, super intense, but every week is stimulating, and every presentation that you have to give for every single class and every paper you have to deliver, it's so stimulating. I don't know about you, but when I got out of the program, I was like in a void. I'm like, I'm not being stimulated enough anymore.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. The whole program structure was that it was so interactive that it wasn't just the teacher speaking. It was like 21 people engaging in the discussion. So that was quite good for me because I came from a very traditional way of learning where teachers spoke, we listened, we gave exams. So
Yeah.
this was actually the environment I was looking for.
Yeah,
I
see
also
another
remember
question.
giving
Go ahead.
presentations to companies, so that was
Yeah.
also a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. The live business cases and working with the different companies is really interesting. The live business case that we have currently, is it does finish with a pitch to the company. So you work in teams. It's a 2-month program, and you're working on whatever problem that they happen to present to us. And each team usually works on the same problem. And so you approach it in different ways. And so depending on the team makeup, and your interaction with that company, each team arrives with a completely different presentation. And so the company has the opportunity to kind of to choose one of your pitches to say this one was really amazing, you really took into consideration. It's really like a consulting project. But yeah, this kind of interaction, the depth of discussion and so on is very different than the typical, I'm in a very large, lecture hall. Yeah, it's not at all the same. It's very much interactive with, between the teacher and you, or just side discussions. The discussions kind of go this way because the teachers actually value MBA students, just in the fact that we challenge them and we create a dialogue. It's not a monologue, it's a dialogue. And so that's why when I'm recruiting and we're accepting candidates, I do want to see that the candidates can bring something to the program. You may have been an engineer, you may have been, whatever your job was. We even actually had a concert violinist, Selena, Selena Weekend.
Yeah.
So she was, a concert violinist, and so she had her master's in that. But she is now working with the sustainability reporting for ST Microelectronics, which is like the 6th biggest microelectronics company in the world, and it's based here. And she's working with reporting, so ESG, and just making sure that the communication is done. She looks at the financials. So, I mean, things can, you come in this way and you
That's
go out
crazy.
the other way. So it can be anybody, but I'm really looking for people who are curious, people who are ready to bring something to the discussion, to challenge, to have that critical thinking and so on. And that's who you want to be surrounded with. You don't want to have people who are sitting there just taking notes, right?
No.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
question, Virginia, what is a common question you get? I mean, moving abroad, deciding to do, your MBA is a huge life decision anyway, so we can attest to the quality of the GEM MBA, but you're also making another decision to do your MBA, perhaps in a foreign country, or move to a new city. What are some common questions that you get as people make this big decision in their lives? Or what advice would you give?
An advice I could give, well, the diversity of the court is really important for them, for you guys who want to come into the program. We have a lot of questions on this, how diverse it is, multicultural it is. Now we also have some questions about the experience, the background they have, because sometimes they're saying that, well, you're saying that you're not in the business environment. Is that okay to come? Just what you were saying before, Chandra. So this is the sort of the questions we are getting a lot. I don't know, what were your questions, Mala, about coming to the program?
My questions. Well, yeah, the diversity was the main thing. French language was, I think, the number
That's
one
true.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
how would I survive, or will I get through? But I think Grenoble itself, in the first 6 months of arriving in France, or in Grenoble, I did not have any troubles at all. Mostly because I was within my cohort. Also,
Mm,
Grenoble in general, everybody speaks English,
mm,
and plus I was very interested in learning the language in the first place. So, and GEM provided with the classes, so the beginning was there. But yeah, if that is the question, will French be a problem? I don't think so. That is the
mm.
answer. It should be
The
fairly easy.
There's something that is really important, that we have some representatives around the world, and they really guide you through the whole process, and they reassure you as well. They will not let you go if they don't feel that there's a problem, but they are really guiding you, telling you how it's going to happen in France, in the everyday life. So yeah, you're really in good hands with them.
That is true. Our MBA really is our flagship program, and it is the quality of our program is equally linked to the quality of our students and their experience. So it is important that our students are happy and that they
Right.
enjoy it and go on to have fulfilling careers and are really engaged within their community. It's really important to us, and it's really important to the students.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe Grenoble was ranked the #1 city in the world for the best quality of life this year.
Yep.
It was, yes.
Yeah,
I
it
can
was an
say
Oxford
yes.
study.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
But it's true. I mean, look at the picture behind Ginny. I mean, this is honestly representative of, you know, it's just phenomenal. And they always talk about the fact that you can see green and you can see, you know, plants and living things outside actually helps to reduce anxiety, helps you to feel better, and be energized. And look behind Virginia. It's, you know, this is what we live in, and it's absolutely fabulous because you wouldn't think looking up that there's so much happening down below, you know, that there's so much innovation and technology, and, you know, just business happening down below. So this is an interesting combination because you do feel relieved. You do feel like when I put my head up from, you know, working all day and I look up, I breathe, and then I realize that, you know what, I can just go for a walk up to the mountains at the end of class, or I can go for a walk at lunchtime, or I take my bike down the river. You know, we have Gem Labs, which is literally at the rowing station in Grenoble, you know, and we take the students rowing. That's what we just did. We do team building with rowing now. You know, we do a session like that. I know. Sorry, Malara, if you want to come back, I know, right?
I will come back for Altigliss.
Yes, and then
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a full week. There's a ski week that we, you know, we block in your calendar, and we say go skiing. You know, all of these different universities come together, and they basically block the whole ski station, and they go skiing for a week. And we have reduced rates, and we have buses that are organized to take you up there. I mean, these are the kind of things that are really absolutely phenomenal about just being right here. You know, we're 45 minutes from one, you know, ski station. We are 45 minutes from flights to go anywhere in the world from Lyon. We are, you know, 45 minutes from lakes like Annecy or up in the mountains. I mean, you know, if you want to do, you know, not windsurfing. Is it windsurfing? You know, I mean, or kite, you know,
Kite
kite
surfing,
flying.
yeah.
I mean, just insane, you know. And we won't even talk about Kupi car, right, Malar? Because this is the paragliding, you know, competition every year. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's absolutely phenomenal.
Crazy, yeah.
So
It's interesting because for having spoken with students who were on our Paris campus, students who are on our Grenoble campuses, one thing that always comes through is how pleasant it is, in fact, to be in a slightly smaller city as well,
Yeah.
whilst you're doing such an intense program.
Yeah.
Because, and this was another program, not even the MBA. The MBA is probably even more intense than
Mm.
that program. But being in Grenoble gives you you reduce your stress levels. If you're in a large city like, let's say, London, Paris, New York, obviously you're going to be in a very bustling environment, but that's also something that's going to be a huge stress factor. Whereas this environment is definitely an amazing place to really focus on your program, on your studies, on the networking, on what it is you're trying to prepare for the next steps of your career, in fact. And the sports aspect, and, you know, even if you're not really sports minded, I'm from Grenoble, I'm not very, you know, into the mountain sports myself, you know, it happens, but it doesn't mean that the city itself isn't relaxing, isn't whilst, you know, still having a lot of activities and being vibrant. It's not as quick paced as, like, let's say, a huge metropolis, and that is definitely a comforting thing when you're under, you know, a very intense program like the MBA.
Yeah, it's a university town. I mean, we have, you know, I don't remember how many engineering schools, like 9 engineering schools. We have a huge university campus. not ours, obviously, but an actual university like campus here in Grenoble. So there's a huge amount of students. It's a very young international vibe. And what's nice is that I always say that it's a human-sized city. I come from San Francisco. And so that's the hustle and bustle. You walk down the street, you keep your head down, you don't talk to anybody. If you stop in a cafe, you just kind of, you're never going to run into anybody but here you could just be in the center of town and some of the other students happen to pop by, you run into them, or you go to, one of the many, many different little bars, pubs, cafes, or whatever, and you just run into people, which is so nice and it's so welcoming because you miss that, kind of homey feeling. And so it does kind of add to that relaxing environment where you're just not anonymous. And I think that's a nice feeling. You don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I got in the wrong, metro in Paris, and then I went the wrong way, and then I had to come back the other way, and then, I didn't know where I was, and I was completely halfway across the city. This is really a much more relaxed environment, but it's enough for 1 year to feel really well stimulated, to explore. There's so many things to visit in and around without getting lost, I would say, and you can just expand out from here. So, yeah.
And for those of us who are transplants and end up staying in France after our degrees, I have to say, I also appreciate that as international as Grenoble is, that nobody corrects your French. They'll just let you go. It's like they don't care if you have an accent. Any other city in France, they'll be nice, but they might answer you in English. Grenoble, like, all right, it's okay. It's just you're part of the community. That's just how we are. We're a city of international.
Yeah.
So if you really want to learn French, we do. I mean, will say you also take French courses, so you're very busy with our MBA. It is intensive. But it does set you up for life afterwards, for integrating, French life.
That's really, really true. So one of my Georgian part-time students she was living and studying in Paris, and she said, it was really frustrating because she never got to practice her French. She was living in Paris for a whole year, but every time she tried to speak French, people just respond in English because they realized she wasn't French, and you know what, we'll just make this easy. We know, and they would just jump into English. And so it's true, it was a bit of a disappointment she didn't get to actually use her French, whereas in Grenoble, as you said, people are like, nope, let's keep trying.
Yeah, everybody's a part of the community. It's so diverse.
Yeah. In the first year, I remember there are these groups in Grenoble. It's called Let's Talk French, or Grenoble Language Exchange. So that group is a group of international people plus some French people, and they meet together every week. So that also helped to kind of integrate, because these were the group of people you would see every week. And the common problem was speaking French. So you would bond over the French problem. And that also became kind of a nice social group afterward for years to come. And you improved your French.
Yeah.
So that helped a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. We're up on the hour. So I'll just ask if anyone has any other words of wisdom to share, or anything else you'd like to contribute here before we need to adjourn for today.
Question.
Come to Grenoble.
Yeah.
Come to Grenoble, yes.
Come
and to France.
To France. No. We'll be happy to welcome you. And again, any questions, you know how to contact us. Send us an email, contact us by any means possible. We'll do our best to help you out.
Yeah,
that's true.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much to everybody. And thank you, Mahar, so much for joining us today and sharing your experience.
Thank you, Mahar.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Good evening.